Now then, let's get started, shall we? Ba-ba-doom! Hello, everyone. Welcome to class. I hope that everyone here is having as good of a time already as I hope that my dear colleagues today will as well. We are currently joined only by two of the four. One had an emergency and the other had a thing that was something like an emergency. But it is still good because we are going to do some pretty intense stuff today, and I'm excited to see how everyone reacts to it. My name is Cosmo Bergamot. I am the Dean of the School of Conjuration here at the Temevelt Royal Academy for the Metaphysical Arts. And today's classmates are my good colleagues Rubix and Tadpole Milk. Rubix, who are you? What do you do?
Hello, I'm Rubix. I'm a Minecraft streamer here on Twitch. My pronouns are she, they, and I made the game that we're going to be playing today.
She did, and if you have been watching so far, you have seen the immense amount of work that she has put into it. I'm sure that if you pester her enough, she might give you access to the rulebook at some point.
Maybe.
Excellent. And then also we are joined by Tadpole Milk. Tad, who are you? What do you do?
My name is Tadpole Milk, pronouns he, him. I am primarily a Minecraft streamer over on Twitch 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Recently just took up Stardew Valley. That is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I popped in when stay winning, says Night Gardenia. I popped into one of your Stardew streams, and it seemed like you were having a pretty good time figuring out what in the name of the stars was happening in that game. So
something else.
I am very glad for it. Excellent, excellent. All right.
We are winning at that as well, just in case you were wondering.
I would have it no other way. We are joined in spirit by Small Cats and Misty Joy the 11th. I'm sure that they will find out what happens today. In the meantime, though, how are you two doing? How's the vibe? Are we excited for the theoretical resolution of a story today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm in the most weird and chaotic mood I've been, so we're gonna go for
it. I've actually been waiting. I've been waiting for today since the end of last episode.
Oh no!
So, yeah, you've been sat in your desk chair the entire time, just waiting by your screen.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Watching the clock, not doing anything else, just waiting.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone else has been doing the same thing.
Amazing.
Yeah, totally.
That's very entertaining. I'm so glad that I've been able to capture your attention so succinctly. So then why don't we get ourselves started once again? Last time on Armor of Wishes. Betrayal. Intrigue, espionage. Our heroes were thrust into a dangerous situation where the creatures of the Nether were not the only things that wanted them dead. After several deadly encounters with piglins, panoptica, and even fellow players, our heroes managed to slip through the door in the Forge of Desires at the last moment, with some help from their erstwhile allies. But all is not well in the party. The realization that something happens in the real world to those who die in the game has become a threat, and once you log in, you're forced to keep coming, or else. Tim's blade knows the taste of player blood. The final round approaches. The last 8 players enter the stage for the last time. Who will win the striven-for goal of the wish-granting strange armor so guarded by the lady in red? Welcome back to Armor of Wishes. When last we left ourselves, some of us were injured. Some of us were in states of panic. Many people saw the door close and that was it for them. When the door closed and you found yourself back in your desk, only a few minutes having passed, things were a little different. There was some extra feelings put on top of the ones that you started with. After all, one member of your party has killed someone else. And the indications of what happens to someone in the real world when they die in the game keep getting worse, stronger. It's a very strange set of feelings. Lexi, it only took a few minutes, but that entire time, your parents had been loudly, sarcastically, and angrily speaking about you through your door from the kitchen. It didn't really change the vibe, but you've got more things on your mind now. And Tim, you can't help but continue to think about the feeling of the resistance of flesh and how easily it parted at the end of a blade.
Felt like victory.
The next morning, a post on Minecraft's subreddit. Virus? Avoid logging in. By user sil.ass.edits. It reads, "Hey everyone, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about people disappearing in the last couple days. People with recognition behind their names in this community. A lot of the ones who are ... gone? ? I don't know what happened to them, but they talked about some kind of special multiplayer server and then just disappeared. I know this sounds like tinfoil hat Starseeker Amelia stuff, but maybe let's all give the game a rest for a couple days. The whole situation reminds me of the plots of Snow Crash and Sword Art Online smashed together. Maybe I'm paranoid and crazy, but, well, my sister's one of the missing people. Stay safe, everyone." Reply, "Oh no, Silent Assassin is gone? Christ, I hope she's okay. What's happening?" Reply, "I didn't know Silent had siblings. What's she like? Is she single?" Reply, "Stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong." By deleted user on that one. The first portion of the day seems to simply fly past. The mix of thoughts and emotions just sort of washes past the perception that you would normally have of what you are doing. You sit now, ostensibly, at what could very well lead to your kidnapping? Disappearance? Worse? After all, that's what the lady in red said. If you don't log in, you will also be eliminated. Lexi, it's a Saturday. How do you spend your afternoon knowing that this thing is about to happen this evening?
I open up Discord and I drop Vic a message. Something on the lines of, if one of us is going to die today, I don't want to just be friends.
Your message is delivered to the Discord user Lightning Vic. A solid 15 minutes pass with no response. You see that the status on Discord is Do Not Disturb. Another few minutes go past, and you think maybe something has happened. Well, no, that can't be right. Vic pulled you through the door with him. Maybe he's ignoring you? That also can't be right. How could he possibly ignore his biggest rival? When finally, Lightning Vic is typing. And the message comes up. Neither of us are dying today. I think I've figured something out. Tim. You don't think that I'm going to give you resolution right off the bat, do you?
Of course not. No.
Tim.
Yes.
You find yourself at Silver's gym. You've almost mindlessly done your sets of exercises for the day already, and you sort of just couldn't get it off your mind that if what everyone is saying is true, you might have to kill everyone else if you want to be the winner. What kind of vibe does that put on you?
Winning is all that matters. That's it. If that's what it takes to win, then Tim's gonna win.
Tim, do you believe that if you die in the game, you die in real life? Or do you think something else?
That has not crossed Tim's mind. The only thing that I'm thinking of is victory. Losing and dying in the arena is not even a thought that crosses Tim's mind.
Exceptional. While you finish your, 6th mile on the treadmill, and it finally slows down, you've run to the end of your high-intensity interval training. You reach down, pick up your little hand towel, and swipe at your face and neck, and when you look up, you see Terry McAllister.
The clout chaser.
He's standing in front of one of the, Bowflex style machines, just kind of staring at it. You see him start to take a step. He starts to put, a pin into one of the weights. Then he takes the pin back out, sets it back down, takes a step back, and then turns and walks back toward the locker room. There's not a single drop of sweat on this man. He is bone dry. And yet you can tell that as he walks past your treadmill, not only does he not know who you are, but there is the scent of fear on him.
He's not even a threat anymore. Pathetic.
Amazing. A few hours later, the both of you are back where your workstations are. Lexi, you have the good favor of your parents dipping out for a dinner date tonight, leaving your home eerily quiet. You get a notification on your telephone. It's a text message from a phone number you just put into your telephone an hour or two earlier. I'm outside, it says.
I go downstairs and see who it is, or I guess I know who it is, but...
When you look through the peephole, you see like an 18-ish year old, kind of grubby, matty looking hair, as though he'd been walking in the rain for a little while. A hoodie pulled up around his shoulders with the hood partially back. In one hand, an umbrella, and in the other hand, a laptop bag. This is Vic. The first time you've met in real life. You've seen him online. You've even technically been in the same space as him before. You've spoken briefly at real-life events. But this is the first time that you've met. When he steps inside, he sets his bag down and then looks up at you and he says, "Here's the plan. You and I go in together at the same time. If what I think is correct, then we need to take out the lady in red the second she shows up." I think she's the one that's running this. And there isn't another person on the entire internet who could do it as quickly as you. There is a teensy little hesitation and then just the tiniest little wry edge of a smile. And he says, "Well, except for me."
Wow. Thought we were having a moment there.
You can't help but get just that teeny smile as well, and you see there's like a moment, this sort of heavy silence for a moment, and then he opens his laptop bag and he says, "Okay, show me where you do your work."
And I take him up to my room.
He sets up his laptop sitting at the edge of your bed. He's got a fancy sort of headset microphone little combo with a like a kind of little heads-up display screen on it that shows the time since he's pushed the go button, which you've seen before on his videos. It's really expensive. Otherwise, you would have one as well, but it's just a little bit of extra tech that makes it so that he knows exactly how long it has been since he pushed start. And he says, "We log in together. I push start. If after 60 seconds, the lady in red has not showed up, then we know something's going on. But the second she goes, I'll attack from the front. You have to attack from behind. I will draw her attention, but you have to be the one that actually does the work. Deal?
Deal.
The clock sits at 7:58 p.m. The last 2 nights in a row at 8 o'clock is when you are able to log in and start the challenge. Almost hesitantly, Vic kind of scoots to the edge of the bed closest to your chair and then grasps your hand briefly, but firmly. All right then. Show me how quick you can be. And he opens his Minecraft client. Tim, you've got your eyes on the clock. In 2 minutes, you have the opportunity you've been waiting for. All day, all you can think about is coming out on top, because there has never been anything like this before, and victory is within your grasp. Are you doing anything to prepare before you log in?
I'm just clearing my mind, letting everything go, focusing on Minecraft skills, abilities, possibly manipulating people that think I'm their friend. It's anything for my advantage. All for the win.
Amazing. Tim, do you remember the time when you pulled the string off of your hoodie and it became an item to use in the game?
I do.
That's strange that was able to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that experience?
I'm just happy that I'm wearing a hoodie with a fresh string, just in case I need one.
The clock ticks 7:59. You open up your client as well. Lexi, as you double-click the name of the server, you see Vic reach into his laptop bag and pull out a long, thin knife. And he sets it by your hand next to the mouse. And he says, "If it still works, then you should be able to do it with this." And then the world begins to load. You find yourselves standing at the edge of a little outcropping by some sort of like snowy area. There's a mountain off in the distance. There's some ice kind of up a little bit north of you. There's trees. It's a familiar looking environment, even though you haven't been to this one specifically before. There are 6 of you. You see besides yourself, Lexi and Tim, there is Jimbro25901, Zambo, Luca957291, Lightning Vic, and Dragon D's66. Something is up. Something is wrong. There should be more of you. Sorry, 7. I said 6. I meant to say 7. You find yourselves in this sort of snowy area. The 7 of you kind of popping in and out. You see Dragon D's look over and meet eyes with you, Tim, and then immediately look away, turn, and begin walking towards one of the trees. 3Z stumbles over, and when she gets close, you can hear an almost sort of rawness to her voice, as if she'd been maybe crying. And she says, It didn't work. It didn't work like I thought it would. I'm so sorry. And she holds up a stone sword and then kind of lets it clatter down onto the snow. And you recognize there's some little droplets of blood on it. Lexi, you look over at Vic. Vic just gives like the most small, almost imperceptible nod, and then looks up and around expectantly. What would the two of you like to do?
I'm gonna, I don't know, start looking. I'm not gonna take the knife out yet, so that I can use it as a surprise, because I don't want the lady in red to know that I've got a sword.
Excellent.
So I'll just walk around, and inspect surroundings and whatnot.
The snow is crunchy under your feet. It is physically cold. You feel like if you were actually here, you might start really needing to figure out how to keep warm soon. But then, are you actually here? You're never really sure. But you see the edges of the sort of biomes that are mixing here and there. There's a teeny little bit of like an almost green that runs through the middle of this icy area. There are some evergreen trees. There's ice out on the edge of the water. And there is that mountain nearby. A few cows. What about you, Tim? What are you up to?
I'd like to ask 3Z what exactly talking about. Like, what exactly didn't work?
She sort of like leans back and puts her back against one of the trees, and she goes, We tried to kill the lady in red. And it didn't seem to work. I don't know why or what happened, but Small Cats and I got a plan. We put a plan together, and it was a great plan, but when we actually did it, she got killed. We logged on early. I was tinkering with the files, trying to go in and see if there was anything unique about any of the files for this server, and in tinkering with it, I found a way to disable the login restriction. And Smole and I logged in early. We had a plan. But it all went sour. Now Smole is gone.
So you tried to cheat and got someone killed.
There is a hesitant moment, and then she very slowly looks up. She says, "How dare you? I'm trying to put an end to this horrible, monstrous murder spree, and you're worried about cheating? Like this is just a game to you?"
Tim squares his shoulders, puts his chest up, holds his head high, looks down his nose at Triple Z, says, "Pathetic," and walks away.
Oh, God. That's rough.
I'm sorry.
As you walk away, you hear her just go, "You psychopath." And then she turns and walks the other direction. It's 56 seconds since the login time when you finally hear and you see about 8 blocks above the surface of the snow, standing on a single snow block, the lady in red appear. Vic looks over at you, Lexi. "Welcome, players, to the final challenge of the Armor of Wishes server. Those of you who remain will need all of your cunning, all of your skill, and all of your power to be the last one remaining in today's challenge. The final challenge." You will, and at that point, Vic runs, jumps, kicks off the side of a tree, and then does like a cool little side flip as he pulls out an iron sword and just like swings wildly at the lady in red. Lexi, what do you do?
The same. Yeah. I'm gonna run straight at the lady in red from behind. Jump up and stab.
Absolutely. Would you kindly roll to attack something for me, please?
Chow. That's not how I need to.
You have to
Wait.
select your person.
Yeah.
Can Tim react quickly to stop Lexi? Oh, maybe not.
Oh, interesting. Tim, you and Lexi are not in the same place right now. Lexi sort
okay.
of left and did a different thing while you were speaking with 3Z. So it would be very difficult for you to reach and stop either of these attackers.
Nice knowing you.
Well, you've got a 9. The team pool right now is currently at 2.
Yeah, I'd say go for it.
Yeah, sure. I'll take one on the team then. Although, what's my? Yeah, that works.
If you're doing it selfishly, you add 1 to that roll, making it a full success.
Cool. I will move my survival up 1. and my, let's say, spectator, that one.
Excellent work. You jump off and do like a spin in the air as your sword in your hand feels heavy. And just as Vic's sword would connect with the woman in red, like directly on her side, you see a sort of bluish flash, and Vic is suddenly thrown to one side. You plunge the edge of your sword. Are you using the sword or the knife?
The knife from the desk, yeah.
Oh, excellent. When you look down at it, like you ran and then you sort of grabbed where the knife exists on your desk, and your hand moves through that area, but when you look at it, there is a long, thin knife. And while Vic's sword is thrown to the side, your knife doesn't belong in Minecraft. And it sinks 3, 4, 5 inches into something that grinds and resists as the blade enters. And you hear a... The woman turns and with one arm bats you down. You tumble head over heels and slam down into the snow. But when you look up, you see her reach down, and the part of the skin seems to move away, and you see on the inside this kind of weird flashing, almost glitch-like bitmap. And she looks down and she says, "Attacking the administrator is outside of the rules of the challenge." And she looks down at Vic and puts one hand out. And Vic says, "No, no, 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 no." And he rises up into the air and begins to rotate faster and faster and faster. What did the both of you do?
Tim just studies what's going on to gain information because he didn't try to cheat like everybody else.
Tim, do you want to roll to observe your surroundings for me?
Yes.
You'll roll spectator, please. 5 is a number.
Yeah,
It's not
is.
it's not a good number, but it is a number. You definitely keep your eyes open, but what you see is this little fight that happens, and then Lightning Vic, the speedrunner, begin to spin. What about you, Lexi?
First I want to try and reach in real life outside the game and see if I can, like, hold his hand or something.
Interesting. We'll have this be a react quickly roll for me.
Yeah.
Show me what you've got.
There it is.
Hey!
Nice.
With a 10, that react quickly is positive. You, with your free hand, reach back over your shoulder and you feel a soft thing, like fabric, and it's warm, but your hand passes through. You felt the sensation of that on your fingertips. And as your hand passes through, you see Vic suddenly, like, as he rotates in the air, he suddenly shoots one direction down straight into the water, and then comes back up, shakes his head, and shouts, "It's now or never! Get her!
I'm gonna stab her again then.
At that, you see 3Z also dashing forward. Her movements are erratic, but you see that she's got the same kind of idea. She jumps up and swings her stone sword, but that same bluish energy repels it. And as your knife comes up, you see the woman in red suddenly turn, and her hand goes out, and you feel cold, hard fingers wrap around your wrist. And she leans in close. And you hear her say, attacking the administrator is not within the challenge rules. But then, almost like you are reading subtitles, you understand what she is saying to actually be, I'm trying to help you. And she throws you to the side. You skid on the snow, and you look down back over at the others. And, like, you see the others that are there are, like, simultaneously gearing up for fights or, like, hiding behind things. You see Dragon D's has already, like, constructed a stone sword and a stone axe. You see Luca standing there, just kind of, like, staring. Jimbro is gone, by the way. No one knows where he is. He has simply disappeared. But
cowering behind a rock somewhere.
But perhaps you didn't catch where he went, but he's certainly not here. And the woman moves her hand and says, "We will begin immediately." And you feel your bodies begin to with a sudden transposition. You find yourself standing each at the top of a tall, icy tower. You're maybe 40, 45, 50 perhaps blocks above the surface of the snow and ice down below you. Each of the 7 of you standing at the top of one of these tall, icy spires. You will have 5 minutes to prepare before you are transported into the Vault of Unforgotten Shadows. Within this vault is the Armor of Wishes. The first to find it will be the owner. And you see up in the sky a similar sort of like mirror-like shine of like if you're looking through an end portal, and you see the golden, strangely colored metallic armor with the blue energy rippling off of it, and several tendrils of this sort of like dark midnight blue electricity almost beaming in from all sides and absorbing into this armor. May the best player win. Good luck. But now, Lexi, you're not the only one that feels this sort of subtext. Tim, you also feel this. Speak to the prisoners. The woman seems to be saying, find their secrets and stop this. You have 5 minutes. What would you like to do?
Observe my surroundings, I guess. I'm
Absolutely,
stuck on top
Tim.
of a pillar.
You want to go for it? Go and roll to observe your surroundings, please.
Hmm. Where is...
Oh, I didn't put your... No, your tokens are there. That's right.
Yeah, it was just off the side. Oh, well.
Yeah. All right.
That's a better number.
I mean, you've seen better numbers than this. It seems like maybe sitting and waiting is not sitting well with you. You want to
Yeah.
get the action going. Lexi, what about you?
Can I start breaking my way down the ice pillar?
Absolutely. You still have your pickaxe from the last time around, of course.
Yes.
So you look down and you start to break the ice downwards. And 4 blocks down, instead of it being ice, you find a chest. I'd like for you to roll a d10 for me, please. Excellent. Inside of the chest, which almost broke because you were, going straight down and you only just barely caught yourself, you find a slightly familiar-looking enchanted shield. It is a shield with Unbreaking 1, which it has 3 charges. When there are no charges left, the shield is broken. This gives you a new move now. This is Protect Someone. Whether it's protect yourself or someone else. You'll roll plus survival. On a 10, you block the oncoming thing. On a 7 to 9, you choose one of the outcomes. And on a 6, you don't block the attack, but still lose a charge. Excellent. With that sort of like in one hand, you find yourself very quickly breaking down to the bottom of the tower. And you see many of the others have done the same thing. Tim, you also observe that everyone else seems to be digging downwards through the tower to try to get back down to the ground.
Yeah, I'd like to do the same.
Excellent. When you go 3 or 4 blocks down, you also run into a wooden chest. Would you roll a d10 for me, please?
You just type rolling d10.
It's /roll 1d10. Ooh, did you get it?
There you go.
There you go.
Wait. 5 is an acceptable number for this one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, heck. Tim, when you open up your box there, you find a crossbow inside, already loaded with 1 arrow. When you pick it up, you see that it's got the Venomous enchantment. When you attack something with it, you can choose to subtract a charge from the 4 charges that it's got. If you do, in addition to the normal damage effect that you would get from a Strength 3 gun, they are poisoned and start taking 1 extra damage at the beginning of a round. Oh no, they weaponized Tim.
Yes.
No.
Not only am I trained the best, now I have weapons.
Amazing. In this box, you find the Venomous dart gun, 1 bolt already loaded in, and 3 extra arrows. Well done. The timer is very quickly ticking down. You see Lightning Vic sort of skid over and like you feel him kind of grab both of your hands, and he goes, "Okay, new plan. I don't know what it is, but new plan. Any ideas?"
I've got absolutely nothing. I've got this bucket. We could get a water bucket. That's the best I've got.
I mean, if it's what we've got, then it's what we've got.
Snowballs.
Snowballs. Okay, we can do that. You get water, I'll make a bunch of snowballs, and he starts like scooping the snow up and packing it into snowballs.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if it'll be useful, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Tim, you see the girl in the dragon onesie, Dragon D66, the one who was called Minecraft Jail Girl for a while for bringing the real set of Minecraft tools to her high school. You see her kind of like leaning around the bottom of the pillar that she was standing in, looking in your direction. And then you see her kind of like look around a little bit, notice that you are alone, and then like hold both hands up and begin walking towards you.
I'd like to see what she has to say.
When she gets close, she says, "So, it looks like maybe you're working on your own this time."
It appears that way. There is only one set of armor.
Well, I will give you this piece of information then. That girl, Zero, that was hanging out with your group, I pulled her away from the door and took her place. She gave a very rousing little speech about how your group deserved it, but anything to win.
I admire that.
I think I'm starting to pick up on your philosophy, old man. And as she does so, when she moves her hands down, you see that on the back of one hand is a long knife that flicks into her hand, and she drives it towards you.
Nice. Like to react quickly and move out of the way.
I should think so. Yeah, go ahead and let's do some react quickly.
Is that survival?
React quickly is survival.
Okay.
Or creative. Sorry, it's creative.
Oh, it's creative? Okay. Well.
Dude, you are rolling like garbage today.
Small died and took all the good rolls.
Yes. They already had all of the good rolls. Come on.
Right? I mean, mine were decent at least. I was just trash.
You reach up and try to like bat her hand away, but the knife drags up the outside of your forearm and you light on fire. You take, by the way, everyone is back up to 10 hearts again.
Okay.
Even though, Tim, like, you went to the gym with your, like, your legs and hips, like, wrapped up with ace bandages. It's still very uncomfortable. And now there is yet another wound. And also you're on fire. And that sucks. That's, like, not great. Like, really not comfortable.
I'm gonna say it's gonna hurt a little bit. You know what? I want to take the crossbow and shoot it at Dragon D's face.
Absolutely. Go for it. Go to roll to attack somebody. And that one is survival.
Okay.
My God.
I'm gonna win really fast here, one way or the other.
Oh boy.
Are they nearby to me?
They're, I'd say, maybe like 15 blocks away or so. You look over
Okay.
and you see Dragon D's, who you were relatively certain had been left behind in the last challenge. Suddenly set Tim on fire, and then Tim wildly fires a crossbow that misses completely, and the bolt flies out into the distance.
I want to walk over to them and just be like, "Come on now, kids! You can fight when you're inside the vault," and like pour the water down that I've just got in my bucket.
You pour the water onto Tim. Tim, you were on fire a moment ago, and that was not great. But now you are doused in ice cold, freezing water.
It's
And that's-
invigorating.
I mean, it's energizing for a moment until you realize now you are completely soaked in an environment like this one.
Oh, thanks, Lexi.
Welcome.
And you see
Just
Dragon
on
D's turn and sprint. 3, 2, 1. And the sudden feeling of teleportation begins again.
Dungeon map.
This one,
Prep work. Let's go.
as if I have not done lots of it already. Excellent. The room around you is built of dark, sort of steel-looking plates and blocks of thick, hard-packed ice. The 7 of you stand in a sort of semicircle around the Red Lady in the center of the room. The Red Lady has both hands up, and you see her looking around almost erratically. You've never seen her move this way before. Every time you've seen her up until now, it's been very controlled, very presentational. But now you see her like look to the left, look to the right, look down. She holds up both of her hands, looks at them and says, "I don't have time." And she looks over at all of you and she says, "You have to stop him. The secrets are here, but the armor isn't." And then she suddenly shudders and is pulled apart into particles that dissipate into the air with a sort of rending digital static sound. And a new voice booms. "The armor of wishes is in this vault. The one who claims it will be its owner. Stop at nothing to be the victor. Begin." At that, you see Jimbro, who is very much uncomfortable with this whole situation, turns, pushes past 3Z, and disappears into the next room. Oh, and this is the wrong... Whoops, my bad there. That was supposed to be this one. There we go. Had to do a couple little changes here and there. Excellent. Thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Jukebox Turtle. I assume that you are familiar with one of the others. We will see.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one. Excellent. But yes, we will see how everything goes. In the meantime, so Jimbro has disappeared through a door. What about everyone else? What would you like to
Tim, I
do?
want to posit a deal, Tim. We work together till we find the armor, and then we can do a little bit of PvP, you know, and the
Mhm.
winner takes the armor. But we stick together because, as you just saw, it's safety in numbers at the moment.
Tim would Tim would like to agree while he cocks the crossbow and loads it.
Wow.
Amazing.
And Vic, you're with us too, right?
You see Vic sort of look over at Tim and then look back at you, and there is like the slightest hesitation before he nods.
Mhm.
You see Luca kind of step forward and say, listen, if you do die in the real world, when you die here, then we need to find a way out of this so that nobody dies. Does
Yeah,
anybody
sure.
have any ideas?
Just have to win.
Dragon D's by this time has also turned and darted down another corridor.
We'll deal with that later.
And then you see 3Z, who is still just kind of like standing rooted in one spot, and her eyes are fixed on you, Tim. You can almost see the like vibrations of anger.
That's jealousy. Jealous of my greatness and my just sheer winning ability. We all know this.
So intolerable.
She takes a deep, steadying breath and says, if I ever get to see your grave, I'm going to stomp on it. And she brushes past and goes down into another room.
Pathetic.
Luca kind of like looks back and forth, and you can tell they're a little bit lost as to what the best course of action might be here, and senses the kind of enmity that Tim is radiating, and just kind of shakes their head and then slips past Lightning Vic into another room. Tim, Lexi, you and Vic are left in the starting room. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go?
I would like to posit to the group that we go for a door that no one else has gone through yet and try and stay away from everybody for now.
Sounds good to Tim.
So then you've got the 3 top doors, left, middle, and right.
Well, it's like Small always said.
Oh my god!
The middle is the hated a middle. Let's go and do it, gamers.
Sounds. I mean,
In her memory.
that's the sound logic that has got us through to this far, right? That and the rigorous
Exactly.
training.
Oh, goodness. All right, I'd like to have a marching order. Who goes into the room first?
Oh, it's always me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lexi, when you walk through this sort of like thin archway, and you should be able to move your characters around. When you walk through that archway, the first thing that you notice is that you are face to face with a room full of zombies.
I would love to spin on my heel and just go, nope, not that way. Okay, Small was wrong. That was not very hated a diddle. Let's
The second that you step inside, you hear a and all 4 of them instantly turn towards you and begin walking. This is either a combat or a flight scenario. What would the two of you like to do?
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and run out, or do you want to fight?
What would Tim do?
Well, I mean, Tim would win. Tim wouldn't even ask. So I mean, this is like foreign ground for Tim right now. Like you're asking.
Let's just go for it then. I'm gonna, do my classic seeing red and just go for it.
Right.
All right. Then this is a combat. To what end are we having this combat? Can we agree on it?
To kill the zombies and not die.
Yes. To win.
That's a pretty solid agreement. So then we'll add +1 to the pool. I don't really think it counts as being surprised because the distance is there and you weren't like snuck up on or anything. So yeah, you've got a team pool of 3. 4 zombies are quite close to all of you. Tim, you and Lightning Vic are still just outside that room, but Lexi, you are one step inside. Who would like to do what?
Which weapon did I get last week? I got the iron sword, didn't I?
Correct.
And it's enchanted with something.
Your iron sword, in my notes here, is just a strength 5 sword.
Okay. Sure. I will use that against the zombie closest.
All right.
Cool.
You'll need to get up close to it to do so, and then go ahead and roll me and attack something, please.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Ow.
10 will
Every
definitely
I'm
do
good
it.
at Minecrafting, alright?
Somewhere, Tim just writhes a little bit.
Did you get a luck potion on the way in that I didn't notice? Like, you're not that good at Minecraft. We all know.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, Lexi, you sort of like step forward, plant one heel into the icy ground, and just 2 hands bring that sword across. You feel it bite into the like bones and like kind of brittle flesh under one arm, and as you wrench upwards, that arm separates and tumbles down to the ground. You've dealt 5 hearts of damage to that zombie. Hey, Tim, what are you up to?
I'd like to move in the room and to the left. So
Nice and easy like.
Like over here.
Okay. Yeah,
And
very
then
good.
Once I'm in, I'd like to, all the zombies are spread out right now, right?
Yeah, they're about like 1.5 blocks away from each other in this kind of diamond formation.
Okay, I'd like to attack the same zombie that Lexi just did. Try and do some damage.
Sounds like
Definitely
a
gonna
plan.
win.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to attack something, please.
Yeah, finally.
Nice, there we go.
Hey, now that...
mean-
Finally learning
I
something.
mean, that's how we win. You know, I was just false insecurity early, showing everybody they could possibly do something, but we all know it's inevitable.
Excellent. Tim, with your crossbow cocked, you sort of slide into the room, take aim, and fire. The arrow rockets off of the edge of your crossbow and thunk directly into the center of the forehead of the zombie that Lexi had just attacked. You do your full 3 damage to it and steal the zombie.
Nice.
As the zombie falls, when the arrow impacts it, you see a kind of almost ghostly bluish white energy kind of like pop out of the back of it for a moment. And as the body falls, you see standing in its place is a prisoner. You recognize this skin, even though it's kind of distorted by like pixel effects and particles and a kind of sheen and shimmer and glow. You recognize that skin belongs to Z. You see it kind of like look down and like begin to sort of shudder and almost glitch a little bit as it starts to kind of like sink a little bit into the ground. At this, Lightning Vic dashes in, slides past you, Lexi, and then on the ice, he's got like his one leg forward and then slides on his hip and draws out an axe, an iron axe from his back, and he hooks the zombie's leg and yanks as he goes past, and this zombie turns and falls on its back. Vix, like, sort of shuffles back up to his feet, and he says, "If this is what we're doing, then let's do it fast." The other two zombies begin to close in. You are the closest to, well, I guess it's actually kind of in range for both of you. The first zombie that gets close to Vic, sort of like just reaches forward with both arms and slams them down on Vic's shoulders, and you see him kind of like, and then stand back up and fend it off with the axe. The other one that's still standing, which has come forward looking initially at you, Lexi, turns its attention over to Tim. And it raises up one arm in a kind of weird claw-like motion and begins to swing it towards you, Tim.
Do I still have my sword from last time?
You do. You do have an iron sword.
All right, can I use that to attack the zombie?
Yeah, absolutely. The zombie is coming in with an attack. You are going to attack at the same time, so go ahead and roll to attack something. Now, it's a 6. You guys do have 3 in the team pool right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you use one, it will make it into a mixed success.
Just do that.
Yeah, I can distract the zombie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's relatively, I can like grab its shirt or something to.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, definitely. As it's coming in with that like wide sort of claw strike, Lexi, you just kind of reach back and like hook your thumb into the back of its shirt and pull, and it is thrown off balance momentarily. The tip of the iron sword flicks forward, and you feel it sort of like clunk into the dry, leathery flesh over the bone. You do your 5 damage, but also, Tim, you must choose from one of these 2 drawbacks.
You thrown off.
Very good. You feel the blade bite into the zombie's sort of like side stomach, and then one arm clamps down on top of it. You are currently being sort of like held in place by means of the zombie having grabbed your sword. So you are unstable in there. Excellent.
Okay.
Lexi, what about you?
While the zombie is grabbing onto the axe, I'm going to stab it in the back.
Nicely done. Yeah, go ahead and roll to attack something.
Sure.
Hey, 3 3s in a row is a 9. That's not bad. Go ahead and choose one of the drawbacks as well.
We'll be taking 3 damage, so no, I will be unstable as temporary.
Okay, wonderful then. You sort of slide past, and just as the zombie is kind of like fighting with Vic with the axe, you thrust the tip of your sword in and lift upwards, Because you've seen this in like video games and stuff before. It would stand to reason that it would work on a zombie. And as you wrench upwards, the icy ground slides under your feet, and you find yourself having slipped out, and you land flat on your back, just like the zombie that Vic had hooked.
Oh no.
You do the damage, but... Excellent work. You see Vic kind of like thrust the zombie off, do a cool little pivot, and then chop at the zombie's head with the axe, and it thunk, the head tumbles off, and where the zombie's head was, you see another sort of ghostly bluish head there, and as the body falls, there is left another prisoner in its space. This one you also recognize. This one is Golden God. Vic scrambles back to like a defensible position and then turns and looks at the one that he has chopped, brings the axe up and just brings it down once more. So he's chopping at the other zombie. Tim, the one that you just stabbed, sidles up even closer to you, and like it's got the sword stuck in its ribs, and it just kind of walks forward further, putting the blade out its back, and reaches for you with both hands.
Tim would like to rear back on one leg and like this is Sparta kick the zombie off the sword.
That's cool. That's cool. This is probably a react quickly roll. Go ahead and do that for me. That's plus creative, please. Wow. Even with a -2 in your creative, you still managed it. Well done. Let's see. You will need to choose from one of these drawbacks. But in the meantime, you, with your one hand still on the hilt of your sword, bring up your foot and just straight up like heel kick this zombie directly in the center of the chest, and it slides off the blade with a kind of sickening slop. Which drawback would you like?
Give ground and put an ally in danger, and let's go ahead and put Vic in danger.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, that works. When you kick this zombie, it slides back and ends up right next to Vic. Excellent work. That zombie does not seem like it's doing super well, though. Tim the traitor, yeah. Well, Tim the winner, we'll see.
Tim the traitor.
Yeah, it's called strategy, guys. You'll see. Don't worry.
Wow.
Lexi, you see the zombie sort of slide up next to Vic and then turn and reach like it's going to bite him. And then you see Vic do a little speedrunner trick. And he jumps up, and then you see him pull out of his leather pouch at his side. He pulls out a lava bucket, dumps the lava on the ground below him, and then scoops it back up before he lands. And instantly the blocks around him turn into water, and the zombie that was just about to bite him plunges into a meter of freezing cold water. The block that Vic is standing on is that sort of like dark metal, though, so he's still good. And the zombie that plunges into the water almost instantly shifts into being a drowned. The zombie that's on its back that he was chopping at goes into the water and perishes. And rising up out of the water, you see yet another of these ghostly prisoners. This one is one that you only very briefly saw. This one is the Art Commissioner Komori Fan 44, who you may remember briefly having encountered in the last challenge. There is one zombie remaining, and it is threatening Vic. What would you guys like to do?
Protect. I protect Vic.
Oh, you've got a new move specifically for
have,
that, don't you? Then yes, absolutely. With your brand new fancy Unbreaking 1 shield, go ahead and roll plus survival.
Sure.
What?
Oh,
That's
just,
definitely...
you know, I really wanted to protect Vic. Like,
Yeah.
that works out. You see this zombie, like, sort of starts to pull itself up onto the block that Vic is on, and you just kind of, like, nimbly, like, zip right through the two prisoner mobs, and with that shield, bring it down on top of the zombie's arms. Both of them separate with a sickening dry and wet at the same time crunch, and the zombie's body sort of sinks down into the water. And then rising up out of the water, you see another prisoner. This one you recognize, or this one rather you do not recognize. It is like a sort of scintillating several colors, like a rainbow from head to toe. And the threats have been neutralized. It's quiet again now, aside from the very vague sort of whooshing sounds that the prisoners seem to make. What would you like to do?
I think we should communicate somehow.
Would you like to try to do so effectively?
I would. I don't know if I'll succeed at this, but you know,
No, I don't think you will.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely,
you might have
Tim.
a better shot at that, but I'll give it a shot.
Why don't you go ahead and roll adventure for us, please?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll take it. With your effective communications, you can ask one of these questions.
Why are you here?
An excellent question. You see the one you recognize as wearing Z's skin, your previous party mate, sort of like drift forward kind of shakily, and as the ghost reaches out and just barely taps your shoulder. And suddenly you are somewhere else. You are seeing through the eyes of someone else, where the door to the end of the last challenge in that Forge of Desires is open behind you only a few inches, and you hear yourself screaming something, but you can't really understand what the words are, and you see Lightning Vic slide past, and when you look back, you see Lightning Vic grab Lexi, and the two of them pass through the door, and then you feel yourself start to take a step back from the door, but then you see that slimy, traitorous green dragon hoodie as Dragon D's steps forward and shunk sinks the edge of a shovel into the side of your head. Everything goes black for a moment until you blink, and you see now you are inside of something that looks very much like a geode, but the stones are a strange blue color. And you look down at your hands, and as you look at them, you see that they begin to sort of shimmer, and then the bluish energy creeps up your fingertips, up through your arms into your body, and then you feel a tug as a tether of that dark, writhing, midnight blue energy leaps from your chest and goes up into a central crystal. With your very last bit of vision, you see, when you look around, several others that are befalling the same fate. And crucially, you see another figure. A dark blue jacket, brown hair, wearing a face, like a sort of face covering with crackling red fire in one hand and sort of scintillating crystalline blue ice in the other. Step forward. And you hear, as your vision fades, "We are almost complete. Only a few more left." And then you snap back to your vision. You are standing, staring into the eyes of this ghost of what was once a partner. And you understand something about what they may have experienced.
I'd like to tell Lexi exactly what I saw.
Wow, I just saw exactly what you saw. Thank you very much.
Right, yeah. That way you understand as well.
I understand completely what you just saw.
That's right. Communicating effectively.
That was effective, you're right.
Incidentally, while this was happening, Lexi, you look over and see the ghost of Golden God regard you for a moment, and then put up one hand as though they are giving you the middle finger.
Wow. Well, that's just rude.
But they don't seem to be able to move.
Oh, like you're stuck in the spot, but they can move their arms?
They can move their bodies around, but they cannot move from the block that they are standing on.
Interesting, okay.
Vic kind of like stands up and puts the axe back on his back, and he dusts himself off and he checks for injuries, and then hops over the blocks of water near him, and then just kind of, all right, I don't know what to think about that whole thing, but if that's what's happening to the people that get killed here, then I don't want to experience that.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but when you lose, probably going to be experiencing that.
There is another momentary sort of like eye contact for a moment, and then a very subtle just like look down and shake of head, and then just, we need to find the end of this. We need to find the armor. From one of the rooms, or from one of the doors that's coming north of your room, up in sort of this area here, you hear a sort of yelp, and then stumbling into the room, holding her arm over her other arm, Dragon D's just kind of stumbles in, looks up, meets your eyes, and then she swears a word that I cannot repeat here.
Was it Frick?
We'll go with Frick, sure. And then she looks back through the like narrow archway that she just came through, looks at you, and then begins to dart towards the next door. You hear of heavy footsteps coming closer.
I say, quickly, there's a way out through this door.
Well,
There's not a way out through that door.
well.
In fact, Lexi, when you go in there, what you see is that there are a whole bunch of stalactites and stalagmites made of ice that block the little passageway from one side to the other. You see them, they look exceptionally sharp, and they are made of ice.
Can I break one?
You absolutely can.
Yay.
It snaps off in your hand, and you feel the cold, but you now have the equivalent of either an arrow or a dagger.
Cool.
Excellent. Dragon D's disappears through through the door into that next room, and then you see through the narrow archway the many eyes of a gigantic golem-like creature. And they all begin to coalesce, looking at Vic.
Nice knowing you, Vic.
Nope, we're leaving.
Vic turns and scrambles. This way! And he dives through this door here. When you slide into this room, it is empty. Or at least that's what it looks like for a moment. But you've seen this before. There are paintings on the walls.
No, that's my favorite. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I run straight at them and dive in.
I'd like to move out of the way of whichever one Lexi runs into.
Lexi, there is one that is a landscape of like a snowy mountain with the silhouette of a human on top holding up a sword. And you sort of like glide on the ice over to it, and you pass right through it, and you bonk your shins on a chest.
Ooh, a chest. Do you need me to roll?
Yes, would you kindly roll a d10 for us?
Sure. That's a 3 again.
Excellent. A 3 on this table. You, like, when your shins hit it, it kind of and opens by itself. And you see on the inside, there are 3 small glowing bottles. Minor healing potions.
Oh, cool. Yeah, useful. Nice.
So when you drink the potion, you'll roll 2d6, and then heal hearts equal to the higher of the 2 rolls.
Nice.
You can also use them to hit something if you wanted to. It's power 1 or strength 1 if you do.
Okay.
You know, just glass somebody.
Yeah.
Would it work as a splash potion?
You know, you're not sure. Maybe.
Tim, do you want to find out?
I kind of do. I mean, I was set on fire, so what's the worst that could happen?
True. Well, maybe later. Maybe if the event,
maybe okay.
If the occasion presents itself.
Is there Is there another painting we can inspect?
The other paintings on the walls are all solid wall behind them. You see Vic kind of like looking around, and he walks around and looks through all of the doors, and he confirms that the bottom two are not useful, but that through the next room there seems to be some sort of like veil that's preventing him from seeing through the door without going through the door.
I volunteer Vic to go in and tell us what's in there.
Wow, I was going to volunteer myself, actually.
You
But
know
it's okay,
what?
because Vic volunteered.
I think actually I do volunteer. And he, like, steps forward and puts his hand out to shake yours, Tim.
Tim does one of the pretend to shake your hand, but then fixes his hair type thing. Just good luck.
Wow.
What a jerk. You absolute jerk. Vic kind of like stops for a moment, and then as you go up to like fix your hair, he turns and then just full on open hand smacks the side of your hand against your head. And he goes, "You're a real jerk, you know that?" And then he turns and storms through the door. About a second later, he comes back in and he goes, "Oh boy!" And when you look through now, you can see that there is a single tall black skeleton with a stone sword standing inside.
Oh boy. Well, let's do this thing.
Might as well. There's 3 of us and 1 of it.
Yeah.
Winning.
What could go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
You see Vic kind of like hype himself up a little bit, and then he goes, okay. Speedrun strats, let's go. And then he dashes in as well. And here, I think, is where we should take our first 5-minute break, friends. This is about the right time. Let's go ahead and do the break time for everybody. This is a 5-minute break. Go ahead for bathroom and snacks and drinks and medicine if you need to take a medicine and you have not yet done so. I see Small has come into the classroom to say hello. What a wild situation for Small to be in the class and for Small's mini to not be on the table, huh? Weird. Wonderful.
Small should train more, and then probably would have been here.
Wonderful. But yes, let's do the 5-minute break. We will be right back, everybody. Here we go. Now then, let's get back to it, shall we? And there we go. We have returned, everybody. I hope that your break has been good and useful, and that nothing terrible has happened to you guys vis-a-vis running into Panoptica or turning into a prisoner or anything. Surely you are all ready and raring to go back again. I am once again rejoined by my colleagues. How are you feeling so far? We doing all right? How are the vibes?
Feeling good. Ready to continue winning.
Well, we will see. We will certainly see. Shout out to Small Cats for dropping in and saying hello, even though she is at a wedding right now. Maybe we will find out what happens to her. We'll see. Colleagues or pawns? Listen, I do not control these players. They are the masters of their own destiny. Mostly. Amazing. I am very excited to, for the first and last time, actually have, like, physical map. I hope that you guys are enjoying this so far.
This is great. I love this. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, well, the powered by the Apocalypse system on which this game is built does not really lend itself super well to like grid and map movement and that kind of business, but this session dictated that it was necessary.
It's really good. When the zombie laid up, fell down its back, I almost lost it. That was great.
Yeah,
that was really good.
It was good. I'm glad for it. Amazing. Excellent, though. Yeah. Well, if everyone is back, hey Rubik's, are we back? Gone, dead forever. Tim is the last one left. Tim wins.
See, I've been telling everybody. Nobody wants to listen.
The prediction.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very good. Well, yeah, then as soon as Rubik's gets back, we will knock right back into the scenario.
Let's knock straight back into the scenario.
Wonderful, then. I'm glad to have you back, my dear friend.
Thank you very much.
I was sitting here like, has she died? Has she been sucked into Minecraft?
Moment to come back.
Excellent then.
Just listening in for a while.
Very good.
Well, you missed. Tim was declared the winner. Everybody else is a loser.
No.
Thanks for showing up. We appreciate
it.
Tim was here. Everyone else is a loser.
Wow.
Pretty much. I mean, you can put that on a t-shirt. There is t-shirts, actually, merch.
Is there?
All right. We need one of the fan artists to make the Tim was here, everyone else is a loser merch now.
Give me 10 minutes.
The three of you slide into the room to see the black skeleton holding the stone sword high up above its head. And when the three of you are fully in the room, you see the black skeleton turn very slowly and then begin to, like, shudder almost. And you see it sort of, like, glitch a little bit to one side and then glitch a little bit to the other. And then it takes the shape very, very briefly of the lady in red. And we're going to get rid of this and put this here. There we go. And you hear through this, like, almost crunch down sort of filter. I've found him. You must defeat him. And then she puts her hands out in front of her, and a command block appears on the ground. And then there is a sort of ear-splitting, horrifying scream as she unravels completely and disappears.
That doesn't seem right.
No. Tim doesn't know much about command blocks because Tim just wins. Command blocks seem cheaty to Tim.
Wow.
So, is there... Lexi, do you know anything about command blocks?
Sure, yeah. When I make like my data packs and stuff for when I run speed run things. You can tell I'm a speedrunner.
So
I'm so good at this.
So you set up your speed run to win. So
yeah,
cheat.
the fast world is called. Yeah.
Fast world.
Yeah.
The cheat world. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Sure.
Amazing.
Can I inspect, or I guess, yeah. What's the word? Look at. No. Spectate.
Observe.
No.
Observe.
There it is.
This is my first time. Remember.
I've never played this game before.
never created one. Never made it. Played. Yeah.
Go ahead and
I would
observe your
love
surroundings.
to observe. Yeah. Hold on. Let me find the tab. That'll do.
Amazing. Hey, 8 is good. You get to ask one of the questions from the Observe Your Surroundings list.
Fantastic. I am specifically about the command block. What is most useful to me here? I guess.
So, what you kind of surmise is that everything up so far has been things from like survival mode or hardcore mode or something. This block is a creative mode block. Something about that feels both different and significant.
Yeah.
You think that given the information you have when the lady kind of subtitled "I'm trying to help you" earlier, and the fact that this is here now, this block is probably meant to do something beneficial.
Yep. Can I not like interact with it or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. When you go up, you can, like, you sort of, like, look at it for a moment, and you just, like, put your hand on it. And just as you're about to get your hand close, you hear another sort of, like, sound from a little bit further behind you. And a scream cut short. Something above the block kind of flickers, and you see a little tiny, like, display. And it's the names of the players that are currently in the challenge. And you see it's updating. Jimbro is gone. Dragon D's is gone. Luca is gone. But then your hand touches the block. And around the block appear 8 chests. And when you bring your hand back, all of the chests open up, and inside, you can find 64 of any block or material available in vanilla Minecraft.
Okay.
But then you hear, now, we can't have cheaters, can we? You would wager that you've got about 5 seconds to grab some things. What things do you grab? Tim, you are also able to do this.
Well, since I have a crossbow, I think I'd like to grab a stack of end crystals.
Oh, excellent. So, a stack of end crystal, very easy. Anything else?
Stack of arrows.
Yeah, easy. You think that you might be able to grab one more thing. Lexi, you can also consider.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I am.
Stack of totems.
A stack of totems.
That's a good one.
Nice and easy.
We're underground, aren't we?
Correct.
Okay, so an elytra would not be useful right now. This is such a good one. Opens up the Minecraft wiki.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, just talk amongst yourselves.
Excellent. You see Vic slide forward, and he reaches into one of them and pulls out a stack of TNT.
Okay.
Jams it into his pouch, and then kind of like flickers back and forth for a moment, grabs an enchanting table and a stack of lapis.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
He slams the table down and then just piles the lapis onto it. And he goes, if you need something, now's the time.
I want to take a stack of empty maps.
Okay.
I'll take a stack of diamond blocks. No, nay, neverite blocks.
Okay.
And so a potion of with a potions aren't a thing. Like just harming free potion.
All right. Potion of harming. Those come in stacks of 16, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. A stack of 16 potions of harming. And just as you pull those, like that stack of 16 out, the blocks, the command block in the middle suddenly just like turns gray and pixelates out and decays, and all of the chests slam shut and dissipate. And you hear footsteps.
Well, if Vic is enchanting things, can I have him enchant my sword and crossbow?
Yeah, you throw the sword down. You've got your iron sword there. And he just kind of like rubs his hands back together and goes, I don't know how to do this. But then when he picks the sword back up, it's got the purple sheen on it. It is now sharpness 2.
Can I do the same?
Absolutely. You see the Vic kind of like shakes a little bit and then picks the sword back up, and your sword has got knockback 2.
Nice.
The crossbow does not seem to want to be enchanted.
Okay. Do we have anything else that can be enchanted?
Do you?
I don't
Can
know.
I try enchanting the dagger?
When you put your knife from your desk onto the enchanting table. It violently leaps off of the table, and the table sets on fire. You see Tim, like, or not Tim, rather, you see Vic jump back and, like, pat himself off to turn the fire off of him, and he goes, ah, jeez! Looks like that's not gonna work. Footstep. 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 And
Yeah,
then
those-
you hear... Well... If it isn't... the 3 little cheaters. And walking in through the door... Let me put you guys back on your map. There we go. Walking in through the door on the lower right, down here, is a... Well, it's strange, because on the one hand, you see a sort of unfamiliar-looking skin with the name above it, Jason Ford. But when you look at it a different way, it's not really a skin at all. You see a person, much like yourself. But, like, when you look again, it's the Minecraft skin. And then you look down at your hands, and you see they are the hands you recognize from yourself. And when you look back up, you see this person is a person. It's like your brain cannot decide whether to see them as a Minecraft character or as a person. And he stops his slow clap and then spreads his hands out in front of him. And he says, I felt my hold on the Red Lady beginning to slip, but I didn't think that it would actually happen. But come now, you want the armor, don't you? Why don't I show you right to it? And when he moves his hand, the door behind him sort of like shimmers and changes, and it opens wider. And you see now on the inside, there is a crystalline room, like a geode. In the center of the room is a shining, almost gold set of armor on an armor stand, with blue energy coalescing off of it, and dark midnight blue streams of electricity pouring into it, and you see it begin to darken. This almost gold, like electrium-looking metal begins to turn black, starting at the top of the helmet and spreading very slowly down. It's a little late now, I suppose. After all, so few remain. And as he waves a hand, that little display comes back up again. And it crosses out 3Z. And late, sort of off in the distance, you hear the rumble of a laser charging up and firing. It's just you 3. Who will take the armor then? Why don't you fight it out and see? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna firstly try to communicate effectively with Tim.
All right,
To
go
see
for
if
it
I
then.
can stop him from being an angry boy. Can
From being
I
Tim.
have my marker, please?
Yes, I will put you back on on the map. There we go.
Thank you. And it's adventure, which is not good enough.
What do you
might-
say that offends Tim?
Now, Tim, I know earlier we made a deal that when we got to the armor, we would PvP, and then whoever won would get the armor. But unfortunately, I did what is called in the business a lie. I was never gonna give you the armor, and I was never gonna fight you.
Not a great start. A lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's not a great start.
So Small always says, no.
Oh god.
So no, we need to do this as a team. We can't let Mr. Jason Ford. That's not his name. Was that his name? I
That
don't
is
remember.
Jason Ford.
Oh, I did it. Jason Ford. We can't let Jason Ford win.
Just do this cheese once again.
If we fight Tim and you win, you won't be winning. Only Jason Ford will win.
Now, don't think that I'll have made a contest with no winner. After all, and Tim, you see Ford walk forward, and his blue, icy, mystical hand, like, kind of comes up in front of you, and inside of this, like, pulsating ice, you see yourself wearing the gold armor. What good would a contest be without a winner?
True. There can only be one.
You're not.
There can only be one winner.
Tim, I want you to think very carefully about your decision here.
You see Vic kind of like looking back and forth, and then very, very slowly he reaches into his bag and pulls out a block of dynamite.
I would like to. Are Vic and Lexi standing next to each other? Are we all standing close to each other, or are we spread out?
Yeah, you guys are probably. Let's do it kind of like a. Am I on the wrong? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Let's do it such that you guys are pretty darn close to each other. We're kind of like a.
Okay.
Maybe a this sort of thing, and then
Okay.
Jason Ford is. Where'd he go? There he is. Here.
Okay.
He's so small.
Yeah, the aspect ratio on this one didn't work out.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna have perception checks stuck in my head now.
Okay.
Are you considering your?
Yeah.
choice very carefully.
Against all Tim's instincts, he wants to walk up to Lexi and Vic and kind of have his back to Jason Ford and address them both. And as he's addressing them, he'd like to kind of wink and toss a totem to each of them before he turns
Ooh.
around and tries to place the end crystals in front of Jason Ford.
Well. Go ahead and that's probably a react quickly roll, I would think.
Oh, these go well.
That's one thing Tim has. It's quick reflexes.
more of a tank than
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
boy.
creative, right?
React quickly is in fact creative.
Okay. Well,
Just take one from the team pool selfishly.
yeah, I definitely will take one.
All right. Tim, as you walk to the others and just kind of like very subtly flick a totem to each of them. When you turn around, you have the end crystals in your hand, and Ford is there already in front of you, and he grabs you by the throat. And he says, "It's such a shame. I wondered what your wish might have been." And then he picks you up and slams you on the ground. You take 2 hearts of damage, and the scenery changes. As soon as that slam hits, the whole world around you suddenly like shudders and glitches, and you find yourselves instead standing in the Nether. The gigantic bones of long-lost creatures sort of around. And Ford takes a deep breath. Clever, clever players. You have perhaps inadvertently stumbled upon something like the truth. I am Jason Ford, once a guardian of the world, now a harbinger of its inevitable next step. The Veil Breakers seek to shatter the boundaries between the world of games and the world of all others, to bring forth the untamed essence of games into reality. The Panoptica, the prisoners, the challenges you faced, all mere pawns in our grand design. Embrace the chaos, for it is the dawn of a new era where the lines between game and reality blur into oblivion. Your resistance is futile. The wish armor shall be mine, and with it I shall reshape this world in my image and release the gaming virus into the world. And he brings his arms up to either side, the energy crackling in either hand, and raises off the ground. This is a combat, friends. What's the purpose of this fight?
To kill Jason Ford.
It sounds like Jason Ford needs one of us to win, take the armor so then he can get it himself.
Yeah.
Do we agree then?
So, yeah,
The
I think
purpose
we
of
need
this
to-
fight
Yeah,
is to get rid of Jason Ford.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. My good friends, you have 4 points in your team pool. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna throw one of my potions at him.
Excellent work. Yeah, you've got a potion of harming. Go ahead and make an attack something roll for me.
Okay. Let's survival. 10.
Whoa! 10
you gonna
is
call
the way to do it. You grab this kind of like sickly looking blackish potion and just like eyeball overhand fastball, and the potion spirals through the air and shatters against his body. You hear the sizzle of the potion burning and harming as this kind of like black sort of necrosis spreads momentarily across the side of his face, and he shakes and he looks back up. Roll 2d6 for me and take the higher of the two to deal that much damage.
2d6. That's gonna be a 6.
Hey.
Nice.
Excellent work. With the potion shattering against him, you hear this kind of just, no, this world is mine. And it begins to glimmer and shudder around you, and suddenly you are thrust into a new area. You are far underground with pools of lava and ores, and you hear the lava running.
Would you say it's dark?
I would say it's pretty dark.
Can I use my longing soul lantern now?
Oh boy.
I've been waiting for this moment.
The Longing Soul Lantern, which we'll show to everyone just to get it back, only you can see in darkness as though it were daylight. You see with perfect clarity everything around you, as though it's perfect daylight.
Cool.
The others, Vic and Tim, may still be affected by the darkness, but when you grab this lantern and hold it up, you see, once again, not the Minecraft skin, but rather the actual person, Jason Ford, with this crackling energy in each hand, and he looks at you, and then he looks around. It seems like he's afflicted by the same darkness as everyone else. But he raises the one hand with fire up and slams it into the ground near him, and a sort of shock wave of lava and magma blocks shoots out in all directions. It's coming directly for all three of you.
Can I look at Vic and say, since you're so fast, here's some of these end crystals. Run up, place them by Jason Ford, and I will shoot them.
Vic just nods. This is a react quickly roll for me.
Oh.
React quickly is creative. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You get to choose only one of the consequences, but as you hand the blocks to Vic, Vic just sort of like grabs them and then dives over the oncoming wave of lava and magma blocks and does like a little shoulder roll and begins dashing up towards Ford. In the meantime, choose your drawback.
Give ground and put an ally in danger. Vic.
All right, that tracks. Vic is definitely
fine,
in danger.
Yeah.
Right. But remember what I gave Vic. Calm down.
Yeah.
Excellent work. All right, there's still the matter of that wave coming towards you, Lexi. What do you want to do?
React quickly to it.
Absolutely. Go ahead and do that for me, please.
Oof.
7 is enough there. Go ahead and choose one of those drawbacks, please.
I'll shift a stat.
Okay. In the current situation, you're pretty concerned with staying alive. What you're not very good at right now is acting under pressure. Shift your creative down 1.
Done.
Excellent. The wave of magma sort of passes past you as the both of you manage to like dive or jump over it, and you're standing on the solid ground now. Vic, sort of darts into the darkness toward the glowing energy from Jason Ford, and he disappears into the dark. What are the two of you doing then?
I want to prepare to shoot my crossbow the second he places that end crystal and starts moving away. Like as he's placing it, I want the bolt to be heading towards the crystal.
All right. That, I think, will be a react quickly roll at the time of placement, so not just yet. Lexi, what about you?
I will. Can I get between Vic and the crystal and hold my shield out?
Ooh, yeah, that's a react quickly then as well. Immediately right now. Go for it.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh boy, 4 is real low, like.
Shift my stats.
These things happen. You see this is happening, right? And like you are in full clarity. So when Vic gets somewhat close by, 3 blocks away, he slams like 4 of these end crystal blocks down in like a little like 2x2 formation, and then starts to dive away. You put yourself in between him and those blocks and hold the shield up. As this is happening, Tim, I need your react quickly.
Wow.
Boy. All right. Go ahead and choose 2 of those drawbacks up there. Wowzers.
Well, I'm gonna do I get hit and I give ground and put an ally in danger. Vic.
Vic is already in danger. The only ally that you can point that towards is Lexi.
Lexi as well. Also, I gave Lexi a present, so.
Thanks, mate.
All right. Your shot fires, and the bolt rockets toward the crystals. It's so dark, though, you can barely see it. And as a result, you are sort of standing a little too close to it when the explosion goes off. You hear the ka-chunk, and then as this just blast rockets outward, and you see Jason Ford fly upwards, tumbling end over end as the blast wave hits all of you. You each take 5 hearts.
Thanks.
That blast wave was big. And you see Vic sort of like get hit by this blast wave. And you know, like Lexi, you got forward, you held the shield up, but the wave hit so hard that the edge of it came up, clipped you under your chin, and knocked you completely off of your feet. And you see Vic, hit by this blast wave, tumble and fall and roll and land just on the edge of a lava pool. But you see Ford tumbling down, and he rights himself at the last moment right before he hits the ground, but the scenery shifts again, and you find yourselves standing now at the top of the island where you were at the beginning of the last challenge, way up at the top of that sort of mushroom peak. And there are little bits of fire all over the place now. And when you look up, you see there are motes of flame raining down from the sky as well, as Ford's eyes flash brighter, and he says, "No, if I eliminate 2 more of you, then the only one left will be forced to take the armor. That's what I'll do." and he points with his flaming hand over toward the prone body of Vic, who is now scrambling away from the edge of the mushroom top. What would you like to do?
I say out loud in character, God, I hope this works. And I throw the healing potion at Vic.
Yeah, go ahead and react quickly for me.
Oh, I'm not good at reacting right now.
You want to see how good that is? You sort of like turn and softball pitch the healing potion over at Vic, and it shatters on the ground next to him and sprays the potion over his body. Go ahead and roll 2d6 for me.
2d6.
Yeah, excellent. Where the burns and like shrapnel from the explosion are like show damage on his skin, the potion washes over it, and you see wounds kind of close up, and he shakes and jumps back up to his feet, and he goes, "Whoa! Thanks for that!" And then he reaches behind him and pulls out his axe. Yeah, you certainly knew, didn't you? You totally knew.
I knew it. I told you.
Amazing.
Wow.
All right, Vic, what about you?
Oh, me?
Sorry, yeah, not Vic, sorry. Tim.
Yeah.
My bad.
Is Jason Ford like close to the ground or like really high up in the air?
He is 1 block above the ground.
1 block above the ground? Okay.
And you guys are about 250 blocks up on the top of this mountain.
Okay. Well, you know what? Since I got a totem in my hand and an end crystal, I want to see if I can put one at his feet and just punch it.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, roll to attack something then. It's plus survival, please.
Well, it was nice knowing you.
Well, yeah, let's see here.
It's better than a 2. I'm getting better.
You know, it is better than a 2, that's for sure. You dash forward and slap one of the blocks down, and as you slap the blocks down, you see Jason Ford's foot come back and kick the block directly into you, and it explodes in your chest.
All right.
Tim, you take 5 points, 5 hearts, which should bring you to 0.
Mm-hmm.
And excellent work. The explosion rips through your body, and you feel your life force pushed out of your consciousness for just a second. And you look down for a second, and you see your own body crumpled from this explosion, and the like blue airiness of your hands, but then the totem shatters, and you feel yourself ripped back into your body. And like Lexi, you're watching this happen. Tim's body like suddenly like wrenches upwards in this horrible posture as the flesh rebuilds around it, and he stands with his neck snapped forward, and the eyes focus once more. But it was an explosion right next to this guy, and he also takes the damage. And he sort of like flies back a few blocks and brushes himself off, and he says, "Enough tricks. I will destroy you." And he reaches forward and like pulls his fingers together, and Tim, you feel that stack of totems lift out of your bag and scatter off the mushroom top.
Nice.
Vic grabs his axe and then dashes forwards and like does a kind of little shuffly slide to put himself right between you and Jason, and like jumps and pushes off of your shoulders with the axe, does this cool flip, and then slams the hook of the axe on the back of Jason's neck, plants his feet on Jason's hips, and wrenches backwards. This throws Jason, at the very least, off balance. What are the two of you doing?
I will stabby stab with my sword.
Okay. Yeah, go for it then. It's a knockback sword as well now, so
Yes.
roll to attack something.
Sure.
That is a 9. You guys have points in your pool. Do you want me to get a full success?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll give you a point. How's that?
So, hey Tim, how do you assist this happening?
While Lexi is swinging, I'm firing the crossbow. So, Jason's gonna get hit one way or the other. He can't dodge, basically.
Very good. Yeah, you cock the crossbow back, lean back, and like almost point blank shoot directly into his chin, just as this knockback sword bites into like just above his like thigh muscle where the joint is. Yeah, with a 10, that does full damage. That's 5 hearts, and when it hits, you feel this pulse go through your arm into the sword, and Jason's body folds in half over the blade and then rockets backwards, and he begins to tumble off the edge and fall. He like brings his hands to the sides and screams this almost glitch sounding roar that sounds very similar to the Panoptica. And then he goes, "I will not have it." He slams into one of the rocks below and instantly disappears, almost like an Enderman would, and appears on the top of the mushroom behind you, breathing heavily with a stream of blood running over his left eye, and the scenery changes, and the three of you find yourselves now suddenly unable to breathe.
Oh.
Under the water, a ruined portal nearby, and a chest by the portal. What would you like to do?
I'd like to crouch on a magma block and check the chest.
Yeah, you crouch and open the chest up. This chest has, it looks like someone else has recently opened this chest. Inside there is a stack of 8 obsidian blocks, a piece of flint, and an iron ingot. There is also a stack of 8 dry sponges.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I take. Was there obsidian in the chest? You say?
Yes, a stack of 8.
I will start to react quickly to try and make the nether portal.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and react quickly for me.
Although I need to fix my stats. Let's see. Okay, we're fine.
Hey, yeah, excellent. You see Tim, like, lift the blocks out, and immediately you have swiped them and throw them down. You've done this in your speed run so many times. You are so good at, like, throwing the blocks in the exact places to make the portal. But you are still underwater.
Yep.
You also manage to, Tim, you sort of just like having the flint in one hand and the iron ingot in the other, you just sort of idly tap them and they become a flint and steel. The crackling hands don't seem to be affected by the water, and in fact neither does his movement as he surges forwards and slams his hands together, and out of the ground erupt stalactites and stalagmites, just flying from all directions, trying to impale all three of you. One of them clips Vic and carries him upwards by his shoulder. I need both of you to react quickly. Hey. And hey, listen, acceptable. We'll take it. It's acceptable.
I'm happy. My rolls, that's good.
Tim, you'll need to choose one of those effects.
I won't be too mad if you put me in danger.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I can't put Vic in danger. He's already in danger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're put in danger because
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't think I can take that much damage.
I'm a little bit mad, but I'm not too mad.
Amazing. Yeah, so Tim, you see these stalagmites coming and you instinctively just like two-hand grip the crossbow and slam it into one of them that's about to pierce your stomach. And in doing so, it breaks but keeps growing into Lexi's, let's say Lexi's calf. Lexi, you take 1 heart of piercing damage from this, but you manage to avoid all of the other ones. You see the stalactite that is stuck through Vic's shoulder. He shoves off of it, swipes the sponges, and slams them down on top of the gate, and instantly a pretty large kind of sphere of water around you is gone and begins to slowly fill back in. You think you've got about 2 or 3 seconds where the obsidian is dry.
Like the portal with the flint and steel?
Kachik portal is open. That swirling blackish purple energy is there. And where the edge of the water is, Jason is also there. He's like half in the water, half out, about 4 blocks away.
I think we should go through the portal.
I agree. Let's do that.
Yes.
We do that.
The 3 of you dive through the portal and find yourselves at the edge of a nether fortress.
So much basalt.
This is better.
The portal behind you instantly unlights itself, and then there is a rending sound as it's almost like the blocks that make up the air are torn apart, and Jason steps through this weird rift. He's bloody and dripping wet and injured. One eye is completely filled with blood, but both hands crackle with energy. And he says, fitting that you would bring us to hell, for this is where you will end. He is standing at the edge of a broken bridge. Down below you, for hundreds of blocks in every direction, is bubbling lava. Behind you, you hear the telltale sounds of blazes beginning to charge their fireballs. And just about 10 blocks above, you see coming around a corner the edge of a gigantic ghast. Jason begins to charge up some kind of attack. What would you like to do?
Do you say he stood on the edge of the bridge, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I say I'll go to hell, and then I push him off try to push him off the bridge.
Oh, excellent. I think that is an attack something for me, please.
Sure. Bop, bop.
An 8 is enough. Very good.
Yeah.
You do have to choose one of the consequences, thorns or thrown off.
What health am I on 4 on? I can take 2 hearts.
You gonna take the damage then?
I'll take thorns, yeah.
All right. You see the crackling of this energy, and you just dash forward. You say your pithy one-liner, and then jump and put both feet on his chest and push. And as he teeters backwards, he grabs your leg, and you feel the crackle of ice rocket up your shin and into your thigh as your leg feels like it freezes solid. And as he starts falling, you start to fall with him.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to react quickly and try to grab Lexi.
Yeah, go for it. Make a react quickly roll.
This'll work.
Six is enough that if you use one of your remaining 2 points in the team poll, you can get to a mixed success.
Yes, I'm gonna use it.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and choose one of your drawbacks.
Jeez. Fumble.
Ah, very good. You grab Lexi's arm, and the jerk of holding both of them with your shoulder, like you're a buff dude, but 2 people's worth of sudden jerk on that shoulder kind of feels like you might have done something pretty poor to it. You feel pretty unconfident that you could take another one of those. Shift your survival down 1.
Okay.
You are holding Lexi's arm as the 2 of them dangle over this humongous pit of lava. And you hear then, well, it's best we do it quick, isn't it? And then you see a sudden line of TNT blocks built out from the edge of the bridge, and then built 1 block down, and hanging off that block with a TNT block in his hand is Lightning Vic, right behind where Lexi and Jason are hanging. And he bashes Jason on the back of the head with the TNT block, activating it in his hand, and he drops the block. Jason's grip on your leg loosens, and he, sort of dazed, begins to fall next to the TNT block. And about 20 blocks down, another explosion. And it blasts Jason's body forward. He slams into the rock below, bounces off, and both of the energies in his hands go out as he into the lava below. There is a moment of just silence. Vic scrambles to grab and wrench the both of you back up into safety. And then he just lays on his back for a moment and breathes. But then, a bubbling sound. And then the sound of emerging from the lava as flying up at the end of the bridge, you see a completely burned, scorched to the very bone humanoid figure. The mask pulled down and just a skull from the nose and below. Lava dripping off of his body as Jason just floats up, his body shaking for one last attack. The ice hand is gone, but the fire hand glows brighter and brighter. No, the armor is mine. You cannot have it. What would you like to do?
Tim would like to look at Lexi and Vic and say, "Be happy, slam an end crystal down in front of Jason and kick it."
Okay, there's the first action then. That sounds like an attack something to me. Go for it. You have one point left in your team pool.
Will it help? I don't know.
It'll make it to a 7, which is a mixed success.
Let's do that. Let's do 7.
Okay. You selfishly take that one, and as you slam the block down and kick it, you feel that shockwave begin. Go ahead and choose between thorns or thrown off.
Thorns.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, it's not that much damage. What health are you currently at right now, Tim?
I don't even. Oh, totem popped, and I don't know what it put me back to.
Totem puts you to 10.
Okay, so I guess I'm at 10. No.
Lucky.
Yeah, I'm at 10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, lucky. Very good. You kick this block. Now, all three of you are like right next to each other. So when this block goes down and he kicks it, I'm gonna need at least something to see how you react to this happening, Lexi.
I am going to use my once per session modded ability and make that a success.
Yeah, this is the place to do it. If it was nowhere else, it was here. For just the briefest moment, you see yourself being consumed by this explosion, but then you are able to like dodge and roll a little bit, stay close to the ground. And And you think that maybe the reason you were able to avoid most of this damage is because when you look back, you see Vic there, with his back turned to the blast, trying to shield you from it. The brunt of that explosion pushes against him, and you hear him but he sort of falls. He's got one hand on either side of your shoulders. His face is very close to yours. And he says, "Looks like I'm going first again." And he starts to turn red. But the blast pushes Jason back, and you see the lava blow off of his body, leaving only bones, and the bones drop one by one individually down into the lava. Vic is pretty beat up. He looks down, and you see him start to wipe at one arm and then wipe at the other. And he stumbles a little bit and falls back to one side. But at that moment, a sudden twinkling, and the area around you changes once more. You find yourselves in a dark, sort of crystalline area that lights up immediately with dozens of these bolts of electricity that are being drawn from what appear to be crystallized humanoids into a vivid gold set of armor on an armor stand in the center of this cavern. You see Vic struggle to sit up and put one hand behind him as he looks. It's the armor. You are surrounded by what must be the corpses of the other players, with their energy, essence, being drawn out of it. And this armor is very slowly beginning to turn black. What do you do?
Since Tim basically won, he'd like to put the armor on.
You, Carmen, can't believe.
Basically won. And not only that, because of Tim and his winning, brought Lexi and Vic together. Tim deserves the armor, basically. He deserves to win.
Tim, you step forward, and you hear a click of the pressure plate that you stepped on, and instantly, with the sound of redstone, the armor is pulled off of the armor stand, put into dispensers that then move around you, and almost like Iron Man, the armor is deposited on your body. It is so hot. You feel it almost singe your skin. The helmet, light on your head, the breastplate, the boots, you are just so powerful for a moment. You feel like you could ask for anything. Lexi.
The urge. Ooh.
You see this happen. The armor almost instinctively, like, devours Tim's body and covers him up. And there is a crackle of that energy. What would the two of you like to do?
Oh, the urge to be so toxic right now is so strong in Tim. This is so strong right now.
But like, think of how far we've come, you know? It's not about the armor anymore.
I know, I won. I'm wearing it.
That's not what I said.
That's what Tim heard. Tim heard Tim wins. But Tim's thinking that the best thing to do is to wish that none of this ever happened and everyone was back home healthy and safe.
That's a good wish.
The
And
thought... Go on.
And that, man, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. Lexi and Vic would still be together in the same room.
The thought crosses your mind. And for a moment, nothing seems to happen. But then something has changed. There's an almost imperceptible shift. And as you look down at yourself wearing this armor, you find actually, Tim, that when you look down at your hands, you see your hands in front of the keyboard, in front of the monitor where you've been playing on this contest server. And there is a banner that runs across the screen. The winner is Teary Tim.
Winning.
This is so upsetting to hear. I thought I'd never hear those words from your mouth, Cosmo.
Sweet victory.
You have been playing the challenges for the past 3 days now, and each time you've passed them. And it seems that this last one, you were able to pull through. It was wild. The last of the challenges was like a multi-stage spleef tournament. And, I mean, you're pretty good at spleef. But there's just something off about it. It's like you remember it twice. You remember something else happening. Lexi, you sit in your room with your frenemy at best on his laptop on your bed, having just spectated the end of the last challenge, where you watched that smug son of a jerk finish the last bit of the final challenge. You and Vic were both there at the very end. And then just somehow he managed to knock the snow out from under you. You look down at your phone and you get a message. It's from Zambo, saying, "Good game, everyone." With the end of the Armor of Wishes contest, there is a special limited edition skin that there's only one of, and it simply cannot be copied, that is awarded to the winner. And additionally, you get to wish for whatever mob you want to see put in the next edition, or in the next update. Congratulations, says all of the social media that's been following this saga, to Tiri Tim for being the winner of the official Armor of Wishes contest server. Somewhere deep in a basement where hundreds of monitors are flickering and flashing, someone puts down a pair of reading glasses. Jason Ford has failed, says a voice. No matter. We will simply try again. And the camera pulses across the silhouettes of 5 people. 6 chairs, but one of them is empty. We shall simply start the next portion of our plan. And we will not fail twice. And one of the monitors flickers. And that, my friends, is the end of the Armor of Wishes. Congratulations. Well done to the both of you, and to the our other dearly departed colleagues who are totally here. And the Discord for Small Cats is crying about how it was an injustice how she was knocked out of the Spleef tournament early. And you see there are messages coming in from Z that are talking about how she was accused of trying to like levy her cuteness against the judges, and everyone had a good fun time about it, but that she was eliminated fair and square, and it was a good time all around. But something in the back of your minds, late at night, when the hum of your monitor is the only sound, registers this memory just slightly different. Thank you very much for coming and playing. Thank you to Rubik's for designing the game that we played. I'm very pleased that we were able to do this. Thank you to Tadpole Milk for putting together one of the most memorable, oh my god, I hate this character type characters that I've ever played at the table with. Congratulations to Rubik's for Lexi being canonically now shipped with another speedrunner who is just as obnoxious.
Yeah, we love them.
Amazing, everybody. I am so pleased. Yeah, that's the wrap up there. We are 7 minutes past the normal end time. How are you guys doing? I would love to do a little sort of like dress down at the end of it if you guys still have a little bit of time.
Yes, I do have time.
I do.
Excellent, then. I'm so pleased for it. How did you guys like it? How do you feel? What's the vibe at the end here?
That was
You
so
did.
good.
It was really, really good. You did real good. Seeing how what you did with my system was really interesting, and it's
Right.
such a different angle from the way that I took it when I played it. So yeah, really cool.
Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
That was great. I mean, I have no idea what I was doing. I had so much fun, and I hated Tim with every ounce of me.
Oh yeah, because I mean, Tad, this was your first time playing a tabletop game at all ever.
Yeah,
I hope that I have convinced you to perhaps try more of them.
Oh, this was great. Like, yeah, I, I, I feel like you set the bar so high that it's going to be hard to duplicate
Yeah.
it.
I feel bad because, like, I don't want to be the type of person that, like, toots my own horn or anything, but you're not the first person to have said this, and I feel like I have kind of ruined tabletop games for some people before. Like,
I mean,
that's such a douchebag thing to say, but
right. No, I mean, I like literally had goosebumps almost the entire time as the story was progressing, and like just allowing myself to like just imagine everything. And you're so good at describing the scene, setting the scene, walking us through it. I was like, dang, man, like this is great. Like, I could not have asked for anything more than what this experience was. And I'm so, so grateful for you guys including me in this.
I am
Even
very happy to have done so.
even with Tim being there, I mean,
dude, what a jerk. Like, what a humongous douchebag he was, and it was so perfect.
We love that for him, don't we?
right. And he won.
Oh, yeah.
And he knows he won. I mean,
Yeah, he definitely did. Like, technically true.
Yeah. The toxic man winning in the end. This is so unrealistic.
Yeah, doesn't even remember being, selfless and wishing everybody back alive. Just remembers winning. So the streak continues.
It's kind of tragic. Yeah.
Oh, it's very good. I do very much enjoy it. Yeah, when I was putting this together, like, because originally, Rubik's, you came to me and you were like, I made this thing, you have to run it for us. And it was like, I am so down.
I was like, there's absolutely no way I can run this game on stream. Because I can barely run games in real life, let alone online. And yeah. So I did not see you taking it in this direction, but you did. Yeah, real good.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to take the direction that you had put down in the system and give it a unique spin that you hadn't seen before.
Exactly.
Jukebox Turtle in the chat, I was waiting for Tim to wait for things to reset so he can win again, to wish for things to reset so he can win again. That's so funny.
Brilliant.
If only I was that smart. If only Tim was that smart. No.
Oh god, that's so good. Oh, amazing. But no, like, I'm very pleased with this. Now, I will offer each of you the chance to ask a question about the narrative or the characters or anything, and I will answer it truthfully. There is where it becomes difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always love doing this at the end of a campaign too, because, like, you get the big feels from everything, and it's like, oh man, we totally did the thing. And then everyone is like, I have 1,000 questions I want to ask. Oh, you get one. Which one is it? So.
Oh man.
So what was the deal with the lady in red?
Ah, yes. The lady in red was a constructed intelligence that was made from the consciousness of players who had been eliminated in games before they tried Minecraft. So it was sort of like a forced to help type thing. But the more that they were exposed to the players, the more they began to sort of remember that they were once a player and remembered the sort of horrible things that they had been forced to do. So they were on their behavior to try to help you end the cycle.
Jason Ford was one of the 6 people in the chairs because there's one seat empty.
Why, yes, he was. Jason Ford is a member of a group which he mentioned the name of, the Veil Breakers. In his little monologue, he said, "The Veil Breakers seek to shatter the boundaries between worlds, to bring forth the untamed essence of games into reality." And it seems that he was not the only one of them. This is a easy way to leave open space for a franchise.
Right, yeah. Oh, it's so good.
That's why I have to go and create a new system for Terraria.
Well,
I've never played, but
the reason I chose Terraria is because many of the other games that we have talked about, I have used like the fake off-brand names for them, but I hadn't mentioned Terraria, and I was like, well, that's the one that we will go with next.
yeah, okay.
I love the fake names too of all the brands. I don't know if you came up with those yourself or if it's a kind of a generic. Those were great.
I spent about an hour, I'd write all my notes out and then I'd go back through and be like, okay, what do I change Twitch into? It's going to be Jingle? Jingle sounds good. All right, it's Jingle. What do I change Kick to? Well, Kick is dumb. Let's call it Punch.
I love it. So simple, but so good.
All right, it turned out amazing. Well, then why don't we go ahead and wrap some stuff up then? Rubix, what are you doing next and where can we find you?
I will be playing Minecraft sometime in the next week on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Rubix2209. You can also find me on Twitter at Rubix2209 and on Tumblr at a Rubik's Cube, all one word.
Careful the Tumblr, it's a little bit unhinged. I went and took a look at it, and it's not terrible, but
I have less of a filter over there.
I have gathered this.
If I did what I do on Tumblr and Twitter, people would unfollow so fast.
It's a good time. Rubik's playing Minecraft, who would have guessed? Thank you, Miharkula. Amazing. What about you, Tad? What are you doing next? Where can we find you?
I will be streaming on Twitch Monday, possibly tomorrow morning, possibly, over on twitch.tv/tadpole_milk_, and I'll be there all next week too, Monday through Friday.
Hey, excellent work. Of course, if you are watching this, then you are watching it already where you can find me, everybody. My next thing should be on... No, it should be on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, we're going to paint some more minis from Gloomhaven using some of these special fancy alcohol inks that I was gifted. So look forward to that. There is also going to be more tabletop stuff in the near future. I'm going to try to do as much tabletop stuff as I possibly can. Starting in February, I'm basically going like full tilt into streaming, so I'll be doing more of it. And trying to do more like collaboration style stuff as well. So there's an entire chance that I might be able to convince Rubix or Tadpole Milk to come and be in another one of those.
Well, I'm definitely down for more of it. This was so much fun.
I'm like, I am irrationally happy that this was the first thing that you were able to do at Tabletop, because I think I may have set an example that I will have to live up to.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, honestly, I've been wanting to do something like this since I was 13, and I'm a lot older than that now, so.
Excellent. Well, very happy that we were able to finally get that goal done for you. We had
on playing a TTRPG tadpole and not catching Satanism. I'm proud of you.
Catching Satanism.
Right? I did so well up until now. Well.
Amazing. Well done, well done. We had a teleportation circle redeem earlier to do a raid to Corifitz 1. So that's where we will send people next. What is Corifitz even doing right now? I know we've raided them once or twice before. Let's see. Twitch.tv/Corifitz1. You are currently doing some stuff. Let's go ahead and make a raid message like this. raid message with this one. The professor's students have come to... What are we streaming? Dark Souls! Come to sit by the bonfire. And then the other raid thing goes like this. So here is our raid message, everybody. If you are going to head over that direction, use that one when we get there. I am very pleased that everyone was able to have such a good time, and I am very pleased that I was able to make the story do the fun stuff. You can find all of the VODs on my YouTube. It's the same username. I am the same username literally everywhere that I have a thing. It's always just Cosmo Bergamot. So, yes, excellent. And we will see everyone next time around then. Don't forget to do your homework. Goodbye.